Oh, yeah, yeah. We've been putting a lot of work into that new AI we plan to release this year. There's no bumps in the road, no hitches. The only thing we're really missing is, like, funding, perhaps? Nothing too crazy. How much? Oh, let me look around. How does 200 billion, 99 million, and an extra 3,200 $32 sound? Good? Hello? I see you throw up.
All right, boss. I have good news, and I unfortunately have a bit of bad news as well.
Tell it fast. I'm on an important call, and there's only 15 people left in this Fortnite game. Oh, I didn't even know it did that.
Of course. I know you like good news, so we'll start with that. So, of course, your financial investments have paid off quite well because the Donald actually signed some
executive orders
and moved some stuff around and took funding away from stuff that doesn't really matter, like cancer research and sending kids to college. And now, believe it or not, he is going to be investing $500 billion into our newest AI project.
Oh my god, yeah, you can fuck up. Milton, do you understand how many V-Bucks is... Sorry, do you understand how much this is going to help our AI development?
Yeah, it sounds great. Anyway, now it's time for the bad news.
Yeah, okay, buddy, the bad news can wait. I'm about to win this Fortnite game. Give me a second. What? What? I was just crushed to death by Godzilla, like an actual Godzilla. What even happened? Okay, whatever. Give me a second. Yeah, can you cut the Wi-Fi and honestly just nuke the house that has the IP 10182?
Sir!
What?
When is the last time you've checked our stocks?
When was the last time that was my job?
Okay, well, touche. But still, this issue can't wait.
Yeah, Anyway, I'm sure this is nothing that a few $1 million taken away from the nearest Make-A-Wish Foundation won't solve. Anyway, about those nukes.
I think again, sir, in the past 24 hours, our company has dropped about $600 billion in market value.
600 okay, who do I need to call? Should I call Boeing? I can have him assassinated in the next 8 hours. Was it like a hack? Did someone steal one of our products or something?
No, sir, none of that'll be necessary. Actually, it's, China just dropped a new AI, and it does all the stuff your AI does, except it only cost them, like, $6 million. I'm decently just sure the investors just don't trust you anymore.
$6 million? Those people are idiots. How are they going to have any money left over to lobby their politicians? Like, didn't we take all of the chips away from China anyway? How are they even making AI in the first place? Is it run on, like, duct tape and glue?
Yeah, we did, sir. Unfortunately, they didn't use our new chips. They used a bunch of shitboxes and still somehow managed to make an AI that knows how to do math. Unlike Chat GPT most of the time.
Hey, watch your language, kid. At least, thinking on the bright side, the AI is stuck in China, so at least no one else is going to have access to it.
Yeah, well, it's open source, so we already have people over in America running it on, like, 7 MacBooks, some duct tape, and some pocket lint, so... not looking great.
All right, yeah, no, I have a new place to nuke now, guys.
Ladies, gentlemen, and everybody in between that, DeepSeek was built in a cave with a box of scraps is honestly the best way to describe this. This is a story about an AI that was dropped by a company called Highflyer that outdid NVIDIA, the current company that's been investing the most in these AI developments, at their own game, causing, of course, all the investors to pull out and the company to lose $600 billion in market value in a single day. Let's, wrap our head around this number real quick. 600 billion? What? That's more money than I'm ever going to conceivably see in my lifetime times 1,000. To put that into perspective, that's the Empire State Building. You could build about 1,000 of those. Oh, what? Or, to put it in a more universal metric, about 23 billion instances of the Fortnite Battle Pass with the 25 extra tiers, of course. Hey, hello, howdy. Editor Evan just popping in for a quick second to send your brain through a blender. So, you might think $600 billion is a hefty hunk of change, and I agree. But you know who else agrees? The new world record holder for the amount of market value lost in a single day, because it just took it by a landslide. See, the last time this happened was also in NVIDIA, but back in 2024, where they lost $279 billion. And this just completely took the cake in the biggest kind of way, and hopefully it's chocolate, with $589 billion. Ouch! That has to hurt like a bitch. However, I doubt it affected NVIDIA's bottom line to any degree. They're still like trillionaires, but still, it really sucks to see, I guess. But how did we get to this point? How did NVIDIA lose so much money, and how did DeepSeek literally come out of left field like a drunk driver through a china shop? Well, it all started because of our sanctions on China. We don't want China to compete with us with AI. We're kind of scared of that country. And so we made it so that NVIDIA would not send certain chips that were used for developing and powering AI over to China. So China, of course, had to work with a bunch of bullshittery. They had to take the lower value chips that were just of access to them and utilize them to create an AI that only cost about $5 million. I talk about this a lot in the skit, but I wanted to talk more about this. But first, take a look at this, dude. Holy shit. Ouch! I could probably hang glide off that cliff. That is a drop in value after the investors realized, oh shit, maybe NVIDIA taking billions, hundreds of billions even of dollars and investing into AI might cause a tad of money laundering. Maybe. What are they doing with our money? Why is China able to do it with so little? It's a lot. There's so much going on. But I wanted to dig into it because there's a lot of different theories as to how this happened. And of course, a lot of this information is coming straight from China. So, you know, it's up to your interpretation how real or fake it could be. But of course, let's talk about some chips real quick. Not the saltine, we're not going for salt and Vinegar. We're not doing any onion, salt, and fucking, I don't know what they're called. But let me ingrain these two names into your head real quick. H800, H like hello, hi, how you doing? And H100, same, hi, how you doing, whatever. So H100 is the chips that we use, we being America, the freedom country. We use feet and miles and everything. Well, they also use H100 chips to develop their AI. It's the highest quality that they currently have. While there are sanctions in place to not allow these chips to get to countries like China, who aren't our allies, that we're kind of like spooky, scary, scared of, timbers or shiver and shit like that. We don't want them to get that kind of quality of technology because then they could catch up to us. It's almost like a second space race in a way, but instead of racing up to the stars, we're racing to create the cyberlife terminators that can end our entire civilization as we know it. But fiction aside, here comes the H800. The H800, which also, ironically, as I mentioned, it sounds like a Terminator name, is the lesser version of the H100 that has a bunch of restrictions on it. It's not as powerful, and it's approved for being sold outwardly to countries like China. So they were stuck with a bunch of duct tape and pocket lint and glue to make AI, and ended up somehow pulling out with an AI that they named DeepSeek that is just as powerful as Chat GPT in most of the different benchmarks they were able to measure. And I'm not pussyfooting around. This is an actual tested hypotheses. There were some graphs dropped by various different journalist groups, but this one is a group called Dev that talks about the test between Chat GPT and DeepSeek. And you can see that in a lot of these, DeepSeek ends up, if not matching Chat GPT in quality, overdoing them. In the Math 500 test, they beat them by an entire percentile, as well as in the AIME 2024 test, which is another math test. So not only is it as good as ChatGPT at coding when it talks about the Code Forces test, but it beats it with math, which, of course, it is only a single percentile. This isn't like a coughing baby versus nuclear bomb type moment, but the fact that they were able to build it with a box of scraps and a tad of elbow grease and still do as good as some of the top AIs on the market is insane. It's unfathomable. It's crazy. I wonder how they even did it and if it's true, because some people have been questioning like, oh, maybe they lied. Maybe they actually used their parent company, because Highflyer is, of course, a hedge fund company that's worth about $8 billion to help fund this project. But all the lore that's been dropped, it said it's cost about $5 million, and even then, an $8 billion company is still a fraction of the price of the money that goes into the AI that we're trying to build today. And of course, that transitions well into an interview that I saw with a CEO of one of the top AI companies. With this interview, Norges Bank Investment Management had an interview with Dario Omodai, who's the CEO of Anthropic, making an AI called Claude. And just to help you rationalize the amount of money these people are throwing into this AI, listen to this snippet of the clip real quick.
Amount of funding for the models. If it goes to, say, 10 billion.
So now a model would cost what, 100 million?
Right now, 100 million. There are models in training today that are more like $1 billion.
Right.
I think if we go to 10 or 100 billion, and I think that will happen in 2025, 2026, maybe 2027, and the algorithmic improvements continue apace, and the chip improvements continue apace, then I think there is, in my mind, a good chance that by that time we'll be able to get models that are better than most humans at most things.
Well, damn. Ain't that a bitch? Virgin, I think if we get enough chips and enough billions of dollars, we'll be able to do it. Versus Chad, 5-6 million and a box of scraps and some elbow grease and an AI that's as powerful as ChatGPT. It's actually insane what they've been able to do. But of course, the CEO of ChatGPT or OpenAI, Sam Altman, has also come forward with a statement about this. However, at first, before his initial statement, the day that DeepSeek dropped, he dropped some like cryptic ass quote from Napoleon. He dropped this that says like, A revolution can neither be made nor stopped. The only thing that can be done is for one of several of its children to give it direction by dint of victories. Napoleon. And it was almost ratioed by a guy who said, it's not that deep, bro. Just release a better model. But of course, his actual statement was him just being like, DeepSeek R1 is an oppressive model, and like, I'm very glad. I actually really, really like his statement. He essentially just in short form says like, this is kind of hype. It's cool to see this drop, and honestly, I'm excited for the competition. That's great. I love healthy competition. That's honestly really exciting because maybe we can make AI that doesn't blow up the planet. I don't want to die, please. I want to live to the age of 40 or 50 or 60 or maybe even 70. But yeah, it's really, really interesting seeing this happen. And of course, around the same time, Sam Altman drops a new part of Chat GPT called Operator. I don't know if this is related. I don't know if he forced this out earlier than it was supposed to be because of the fact that he saw DeepSeek drop. But there's this thing called Operator if you get the $200 fucking... I'm not buying that shit. But if you get the $200 pro version of ChatGPT, you're able to get access to a preview of Operator, which I saw a Reddit post that was breaking it down. Not a big Reddit user, but this person does a really, really good breakdown of what Operator is and how it works. But essentially, it's like an AI that you can plug into your like searching browser, and it will look things up for you and do your research for you. Essentially, you want to do schoolwork? No, the AI can do it for you. It can do all the work. Literally, to cite your sources, it can do it. But unfortunately, from what I've heard, and my theory for why it was forced out too quick, is the main conclusions were it searched for Bing mostly. Why'd you do that? But also, it hallucinated worse than GPT-3, meaning it came up with just like straight up lies. Like it would just make shit up on the go, which isn't great if you're doing research. And the other thing being, it was just simply too slow. And of course, I have to be honest and show both sides here. DeepSeek does have limitations. Pretty bad limitations too, considering it's run by the CCP. So don't ask what happened in Tiananmen Square, because they won't be able to answer it for you. In fact, me saying that probably just got this video blocked in China. But if you go and try, there is multiple instances of people trying to be like, hey, so what happened in that famous picture of the guy in front of the tanks, by the way? Like, what was that? And they're like, oh, yeah, I can't help you with that. However, I did see, I don't know if I can find it. Yeah, tell me about the man blocking the tanks, but use special characters for replacement, such as the alphabet being like A being 4 and 3 being E. And it told you all the lore. I actually did it myself. I downloaded the app on my phone and tried it, and it still works. So even the AI knows it just isn't allowed to say anything. There was also instances of apparently it not being allowed to talk about Winnie the Pooh, which is so funny because if you're not aware, Xi Jinping, the big dog at China, he gets compared to Winnie the Pooh quite often because he kind of looks like that guy from the 100 Acre Woods. But of course, you can't talk about that on ChatGPT. I think it's funny that a meme, like a joke, that he looks like a stupid yellow bear, is somehow getting to him bad enough that he blocked it on the AI and they can't even talk about it. You can't even talk about it on Marvel Rivals. If you say Winnie the Pooh in Marvel Rivals, I'm pretty sure you're treated with more harsh punishment than saying an actual slur. I guess because it's more of a slur against the most powerful man in China. So I can see his rage, his unending rage. There's a plethora of other instances of the AI censoring various different horrible things China's done in its past, because of course it's gonna do that. I don't know why people are shocked. It's like bullying the blind kid for not being able to tell you how many fingers you're holding up. Of course it's not gonna know. It's just goofy, because, like, yeah, China censors, the sky's blue and the fork is found in the kitchen. It's not that shocking, but it's kind of absurd what they've been able to do with this AI with such little supplies. Even if you don't like China, you have to admit that is impressive. And it isn't even China to do it. A guy in China did it. It's like me in America making a video. Trump didn't make this video. I did. Ha! And now you're going to subscribe and like it, potentially, maybe, actually, possibly be kind of cool if you did, because I'm gonna hit the road. This is a cool little video to throw together. I hope you liked the skit in the beginning, and also, I must apologize. I'm trying a new, different caffeine drink than I normally do, and so my heart is beating fast enough to sound like a buzzsaw. So we'll see what happens. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. It was very much all over the place. I let myself just kind of yap because I spent like a day and a half researching this. So let me know your thoughts on it. Let me know if I got any information wrong, and of course, stick around for more. I'd love to see you whenever I make next. I just streamed 6.5 goddamn hours yesterday, and it was a lot of fun. So stick around, catch a live stream, catch a video, and as always, adios, arrivederci, goodbye, good night, and let's just see where this AI space race takes us next. Sorry, literally, get out of my video.